Hi guys, Jay Smith here, welcome to the AskGolfNut channel and welcome to Srixon ZXi7 iron. This replaces the ZX7 iron, and on the face of it, the only thing I can see really different between the two is the ridge at the back. This pure frame, they don't use the main frame, that is for the 4 and 5, the pure frame within the ZX7, which is much more there for stability, control, feel, that idea. The only difference I can see is that ridge at the back is slightly bigger than that of the ZX7, but within reason, aesthetics wise, it looks nearly exactly the same. We do use an iForge process now. This is now made of a S15C, which is a softer material to what they use in the ZX7 to try and make it as soft as possible. And they're saying this is 7% softer than the previous ZX7, although very difficult how you actually quantify how much softer something is, but 7% anyway. We have got the Tour V-sole, that is still here. Now some people love that for Srixon, some people don't. Again, that's turf interaction. It depends if you go down the route of turf interaction or not. And we do have the progressive grooves. The progressive grooves on the 3 to 7 are wider, where the 8 to gap wedge are deeper. And of course you have got the laser milled micro grooves in between. I'm at a hole, I won't tell you where, you can guess if you want to. We are 190 yards away, but this is about 15 yards downhill. This is a 32-degree lofted 7 iron, so it's not weak, it isn't strong, it's in the player's cavity kind of sector, and by the looks of it, it is a half decent sized cavity there, but no different to that of the ZX7. The top line is nice and sharp. Again, that's the Srixon way, going by a sharp top line, but it is relatively thin, no different to the sole. You've got the V-sole there, that's again relatively thin. And blade lengths, again, this is a player's cavity iron. It does look quite nice, and actually there's not really that much difference whatsoever between this and the ZX5. You could absolutely blend these two sets of golf clubs. Down by the golf board, it has got a small amount of offset there, but not a lot. You've got a really nice looking golf club looking back at you. And all of that 7% feels absolutely lovely. I do like the ZX7. This is absolutely going to be the one that I'm going for. Club head speed 89 or so miles an hour, club path 2.4 from the inside and faces 0. That's why we pushed it out to the right slightly, only by 7 or so yards. Really good strike, 1 mil hill, 2 mil low. Felt really very, very nice. It's going 39 yards in the air and 51, rounded up, degrees descent angle at 168. It feels really, really nice. Out of all the ones of the ZX series, if you don't obviously count their blade as such, this will be the one I'd go for. Looks the nicest, feels the nicest, performs absolutely fine. Again, I'll be testing this at 70, 80 and also 90 miles an hour, and also be doing my heat map testing to see how forgiving this is. Remember, this is the player's side, so it's not really going to be that forgiving, or shouldn't necessarily be that forgiving. It's not designed to be massively forgiving because it is designed for players who hit in and around the middle. And if you do, feels like that, works like that, just lovely. I really do like the ZX series. It'll be really interesting to do a video on the comparison between the old and the new, but it just feels lovely. That's a block. That is a block. That is a wave to it. That might be on the right-hand side, might not recover, might just be on the edge. Club head speed 91 miles an hour. There you go. Path is 2.6 from the inside. I think I need to aim slightly different. Face is 0, again, 0.0. Slightly worse strike this time, 5 mil hill, 4 mil low. You hardly felt any difference whatsoever though. It just feels absolutely lovely. Going 41 yards in the air, 51 degrees descent angle at 169. Working really well, feels really nice. If I can just aim straight, it's just working great. A lot of people should be testing these kind of golf clubs. If you are someone who hits the middle in and around, absolutely get this one on a list to test. It just feels gorgeous. Absolutely, I could game a set of these if they feel like this. Really, really nice. I'm going to hit a few more. I'll be interested to see how they work at 3 different swing speeds. That's a miss. That is slightly low on the face, middle but slightly low. Hasn't seemed to make that much difference. Again, a little baby push. Club speed 91 miles an hour. There's the path again, 1.6 from the inside, and face was 0.3 open this time, so 0.3 of a degree difference in the other two. There's the low strike, 7 mil low, 0 mil toe, just slightly. You could feel it straight away. It gave you straight away the feedback of, yeah, that was slightly thin, but didn't seem to make too much in the way of difference. 39 yards in the air, 50 degrees ascent angle on a green where we are, where the greens are somewhat firmer. Remember, we are hitting 15 yards downhill. It still stopped. It's wonderful. I really do like them. I'll be doing the 5 and I'll also be doing the 4. Remember, the 5 and definitely the 4 absolutely are completely different golf clubs. The 4 is firmly down the game improvement sector. This is the player's cavity, the 5 is the player's distance. And so it will be interesting to see how they work when it comes to 3 different swing speeds, and then also with the heat maps, see how forgiving they are and see what happens when you don't hit the middle. Again, that's exactly carbon copy of the previous one strike-wise. It's just slightly low, but again, right-hand side. I'm loving the right-hand side of the screen, but there is water. Strike on that one, 9 mil low, but club speed 91 miles an hour. Again, we have a path 1.9 from the inside and face basically 0, 0.2. 3 mil hill, 9 mil low. There's the low on the face, but it's going 37 yards in the air, 49 degrees ascent angle, 170 yards. It's just working really, really well. I love this ZXi7 iron. I really, really do. I'm gonna hit one more. I was gonna go straight away to the numbers side of it, hit it all over the face, get a heat map going, see how forgiving it is, how much ball speed you get or retain from when you don't hit the middle, and also the 70, 80, 90 miles an hour. But I'm gonna hit one more, because it's fun. And I'm gonna try and get closer to the pin and not block it. But then I don't wanna go in the water on the left-hand side because this hole is dangerous. But there we go. We'll give it one last go. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer to the flag. Again, that's not ideal strike. That's still slightly low on the face, but that's definitely more in line. Go on, stop, quick. Oh, just outside the gimme circle. Club speed 91 miles an hour, path is still exactly the same, but face is now slightly more in the way of closing, 1.4 close. Strike is still low on the face, 8 mil low, 0 mil toe, not ideal whatsoever, but it's going 38 yards in the air. It's going nearly 50 degrees ascent angle at 172 yards. It is a firm favourite. I really do like this ZX7. Let's go hit this all over the face. Let's go get a heat map understanding of how much ball speed is retained when you don't hit the middle. At the moment, on the bottom of the golf club at least, it seems that it's doing okay. Let's also go hit this at 70, 80 and 90 miles an hour. Let's go see what kind of golfer could use this and what kind of speed this 7 iron here, for instance, starts becoming a little bit non-functional. Let's go see how this new ZXi7 from Srixon gets on. So to the all-important number side, where we test how well the Srixon ZXi7 gets on at 70, 80 and 90 miles an hour, because we all don't swing at tall speeds. And then also the heat map testing to see how well it does when you don't hit the middle, see how much ball speed it retains to keep that distance up. So on the screen, you can see I've got the information for the ball data on top and the club head data underneath. We'll have a look at the club head data in a sec, but on the top there you can see what the red, that is 70 miles an hour, the yellow, which is 80 miles an hour, and the blue, which is 90 miles an hour. Let's go by the red first. We've got a carry of 133 yards, which is a half decent distance for a 70 mile an hour swing. Remember, this is how I deliver the golf club. If you deliver it slightly differently, you may see a fraction more or a fraction less depending on your own individual swing. But it's going 22 yards in the air, descending at 40.8 degrees, so 41 degrees. That is over the magic number of 40 degrees, which I'd like to see the slower swing speed go into a green. Now, it's only just over 40 degrees. And these are nominal hits, and of course if you miss-hit one, say if you thin it or you don't hit it very well, then you are going to be looking at potentially going to be dropping underneath that, and you really need 40 degrees or more to stop on a green. And even at 40 degrees, if you're going to be playing in the summer and hard greens, 40 degrees is not a guarantee it's going to stop. If you go to the yellow, the 85 miles an hour, carry distance now goes up to 155 yards, peaking up at 30 yards in the air and descending at nearly 46 degrees. Now 45 degrees is the magic number I'd like to see every iron go into a green. Of course, the slower you swing, there comes a point when you can't do that, and there has to be a cut-off point which is about 40 degrees or so. But 45 degrees absolutely will stop on any green, generally speaking, unless you're playing on US Open greens, even in the summer. And so you could have a chat with your fitter about the 6 iron. Yes, you could. Would I go 5 at 46 or 45.5 degrees? Can you be looking at potentially another couple of degrees maybe drop in, and you'd be close to going to a 5-iron with the ZXi7 iron, but at 80 miles an hour. You could have the conversation, depending on how you deliver, and if you deliver a little bit more loft than me, etc., then you may be able to get away with it. But if you go the full-on blue, 90 miles an hour, carry distance 173, peaking up now 39 yards in the air, descending at 50 degrees, yes, you can have a conversation with a 6.5 and possibly even the 4. If we have a look at the club head data, we have got the red, yellow and the blue. We've got the club head speed of 70.5, 80.1 and 90.1, so within the 3 different swing speeds. There's only 0.4 of a mile an hour difference between them. Tack angle's within half a degree, club path is within a degree or so, face to path is within 0.2 of a degree, and the all-important loft, so we can understand it is apples for apples testing as best as possible. We've got a loft of 27.6, 27.7 and 28.1, so within the 3 different swing speeds we have half a degree of loft. That is it. And of course you have my strike on there for you to see. We've got 0 mil toe, 0 mil low, 2 mil toe, 0 mil, 1 mil, 1 mil. It's very, very small. Also standard deviation to see the variance or the amount of variance I had on all of the data sets. If you are someone who prefers the graphical representation rather than the streams of tabular data, you can pause the video if you want now and have a look at that. That is just the picture version of all the information that we've just been talking about, so you can see it in pictures rather than lots of streams of information. So to the all-important forgiveness time, where we have a look at the ZXi7. How well does it do when you don't hit the middle? How good is it at retaining ball speed from weird and wonderful parts of the face? So on the screen, if I can get it all up there, we'll have the heat map grid and we'll discuss exactly what the differences are on that in a sec. And of course, if I can get the overlay on there, squeeze all that on there so you can see what it looks like on an iron. But let's go to the heat map grid. So we can see at the top there, you've got 0 to minus 22 on the right hand side. That is the heel. We're looking at it face on. And the left hand side, the plus 22, is the toe. Of course, you've got high and also low on there as well. And you've got that blue line across the image. That is turf interaction line. Basically, that means if you're going to hit the golf ball above that line when the ball's on the floor, you haven't got to worry about how efficient the top part of the face is, which it isn't anyway, because the ground is going to be taking far more away in clubhead speed and deflections, etc., from hitting terra firma first than it is anything to do with how efficient the top part of the face is. But you can see there, you've got the green blob in the middle, and it radiates very good on the bottom of the part of the face. You can see by the camera stuff that we were doing just prior that it's doing pretty well at retaining the distance that we need from low strikes, and it also moves a little bit towards the heel. This golf club is good from thin shots, not bad whatsoever, and also pretty good from heel shots as well. It does have a little bit of a bleed off on the toe, so it is definitely a golf club which suits a thin and a slightly heel misser. Although saying that, if you're going to hit this kind of golf club, player's cavity golf club, 22 millimeters toe, you're losing 5% of your distance. Now that is not bad really, considering 22 millimeters toe on a golf club of this size is a fair decent miss. And of course the ZXi7 is a player's cavity which is designed more so for the player to be, or have a little bit of a better understanding of where the middle is. But even so, you can absolutely get away with some weird and wonderful shots on this one and still absolutely gets away with it. Of course, you can see on the overlay, that's exactly what it looks like when you put it onto a golf club. I would say one thing very, very quickly though. You can see on the overlay down there on the bottom left-hand side, you've got that red strip on the heel. That is normally around about 21, 22 millimeters on the heel away from middle, and that is a dead zone. Do not hit it. It may actually only be 3% from a point of view of distance loss. However, at that kind of distance, you are going to be interacting with the hosel, and no one likes hitting that one, because worrying about a 3% or a 2% or a 4% drop off of ball speed, hence distance, is not going to be much of a problem when you're talking about the golf balls going in that direction. So if you can do, try and stay off the heel as best you can do. But if you are going to gravitate towards the heel because you are a heel misser or a low misser, the ZXi7 does extremely well at keeping up consistent ball speed and consistent distance when you don't hit the middle. Toe, it does pretty good also. So to conclude on the Srixon ZXi7, let's go by looks and feel first, the subjective side at least. Right, looks. It's a player's cavity with a half decent size undercut cavity, or at least a decent sized cavity at the back. And again, that will appeal to people which like seeing a smaller golf club, yes, but want to see a little bit more of a confidence inspiring, larger look to it, even though it's not very big whatsoever. Some players' cavity irons are basically looking like slightly bigger blades, and so don't give the confidence that this ZXi7 will do. Feel wise, this new S15C, or whatever this new material that Srixon are making the ZXi7 and the 5 from, it just feels lovely. The ZXi7 is just gorgeous to hit. It feels absolutely lovely when you button it, and you do have to move off the face quite a bit before you start feeling some degradation in the feel. You have plenty of feedback, so you know exactly where you're hitting on the face. It just feels really very, very nice. Performance, it goes up really well, it launches really well. Not the highest spinning golf club on the planet, I will say that, but again, when it comes to launch, when it comes to spin, when it comes to face speed, all these different parameters that you can also see when it goes to www.askgolfnut.com, they are going to suit different golfers. So not all golfers are going to need a very, very high spinning iron, or a low spinning iron, or an iron that launches really high, or an iron that launches really low. Every golfer is different, so will require different launch parameters. That's why it's incredibly important that you get custom fit properly. And forgiveness, on the last one of the forgiveness, it does pretty darn good. If you are a thin person, if you are from a point of view who likes hitting it on the bottom of the golf club as a miss like you saw me on camera, this golf club works absolutely fine, no problem whatsoever at all. And if you are someone also which gravitates slightly heel on your miss strike, yes, the ZXi7 works extremely well. Hope you liked the video. If you did, go and give it a big old thumbs up, hit that like button. YouTube likes, so do I. Down there also is a subscribe button. It's free, it's the best button, it's great for you. Could subscribe, so thank you. Next to that one is a bell icon, that's a notification bell. If you click that one, that will notify you next time I upload another video. Hope you're well, we'll see you again soon.